We associate summer with vacations, beaches, and a break from the routine, but the modern reality of the season is lethal. Statistically, extreme high temperatures kill more Americans each year than hurricanes, floods, and tornadoes combined. The threat is compounding. We are seeing duration and intensity records broken consecutively, year after year. Summer has quietly evolved into a recurring, inescapable public health crisis. Meteorologically, a heat wave is defined by its duration and its deviation. It is a sustained period, spanning days or even weeks, where local temperatures surge well beyond the historical baseline for that specific region. This animated graph compares average summer temperatures in New York and Arizona. 95 degrees in New York causes a massive, dangerous spike above the norm. But in Arizona, that exact same temperature is a standard baseline. Human activity is pushing those baselines higher across the board. We've built a three-tier atmospheric trap that makes extreme heat unlivable. The first layer of this trap is global warming. This diagram shows solar radiation passing through our atmosphere. Normally, some of this heat reflects into space, but a thickening layer of greenhouse gases acts like an invisible lid, forcing the heat back down. We are actively building this lid. The primary driver is industrial-scale fossil fuel combustion, pumping massive volumes of carbon dioxide into the air. That industrial output is compounded daily by millions of idling engines and mass transportation systems burning gasoline and diesel fuels. While pumping gases into the air, we are simultaneously destroying the Earth's natural filtration systems. Stripping away forests removes the planet's ability to absorb excess carbon. This global lid locks in a higher planetary baseline temperature. Every local weather event now starts from a hotter foundation than it did a century ago. The second layer is the jet stream, a fast-moving atmospheric river pushing weather eastward. As the climate shifts, it loses momentum. The streams buckle into deep stationary loops, forming a localized heat dome that traps boiling air over one region for days. A broken atmospheric engine means a typical 2-day hot spell stretches into an agonizing, weeks-long physical endurance test. The final layer of this climatic trap sits right at the street level. This is the urban heat island effect. This cross-section shows the thermodynamic reality of cities. Dense materials like asphalt and concrete act as massive thermal batteries, aggressively absorbing solar energy all day. After dark, instead of cooling down, these materials slowly bleed that stored heat back into the streets. Human bodies require cooler nighttime temperatures to recover from daytime heat stress. This urban oven effect eliminates that crucial physiological reset. Left to bake in these concrete environments, city residents have historically resorted to ad hoc, desperate measures just to bring their core temperatures down. The trap is completely closed. The globe retains the heat, weather systems pin it overhead, and city pavement bakes below. The physical infrastructure we rely on to survive this trap often buckles under the pressure. Overloaded by millions of air conditioners running at absolute maximum capacity, entire power grids collapse into rolling blackouts. Out in less developed areas, the prolonged bone-dry conditions act as a direct accelerant for water shortages and catastrophic fast-moving wildfires. When the power fails and the temperatures peak, the human body fails. Low-income families and the elderly, those without the resources to relocate or repair cooling systems, succumb to heat stroke rapidly. Surviving a modern summer is a matter of systemic inequality, where the most vulnerable populations absorb the highest physical risk. Because the danger is distributed so unevenly, surviving the summer has become a question of basic justice. It centers on the concept of hak, a term used globally to describe an inherent, uncompromisable right. Claiming your hak means recognizing that protection from a lethal climate is not a privilege for those with resources, but a right to a safe environment and clean air that belongs to everyone. Reclaiming that right requires immediate structural action. We have to lift the global lid by rapidly transitioning away from fossil fuels, using clean energy technologies we have possessed for decades. At the local level, we can break the urban oven by planting massive tree canopies to provide shade and engineering buildings with reflective materials that repel heat instead of storing it. The trap is already sprung. Unless communities actively organize and demand their hawk from governments and corporations, extreme heat will be our permanent reality. If you learned something from this, share the video to spread awareness. Let's get to work.